me just hoping that my head's not cut off here. This is one of my recent works, and it has to do with the disaster relief platforms using the double interlock system here, and to form a base to put up a tent that would be good for 4 to 5 family members. So you're off the ground. You can even modify the center to make it into a fire pit. There's other things that you can do, but basically you're off the ground. You don't have to worry about flooding. It's going to take all the shaking that it's going to take. You don't have to worry about the aftershocks, but you're off the ground and you're staying dry. And I'm hoping that some backers will come in, some philanthropists, I can't pronounce that word, would rise up to the occasion and help out in supporting this cause, and where people can get involved and start taking chipboard and things like that and fabricating it into like a low-end base platform series, so people don't have to be sleeping on the ground anymore. And underneath you can use it for storage. When setting up, you don't have to worry about whether there's rocks underneath or log or a stump, or if it's a little bit uneven. The platforms will actually compensate. So what you have here, this is what a little bit of inspiration that I came across a few weeks back. I've actually given a name to the platforms, and it's called the PETS shelter system. PETS shelter system, and what it stands for is a modular emergency tent survival shelter system. It's actually using these pods, or the modular design, to create these platforms that can be pre-made and ready for deployment. Probably 10,000 of these units could be used right now in America, in the States, and Sacramento, and other places. It's just a matter of business interests and personal interests and groups becoming involved. But what I'm hoping here in Mission is to, in the next 10 days, between now and the end of January, is actually to take this plywood and have it developed into a working model that I can come back and show you. And at that point, I may be able to do more of a professional documentary and to get it out to those who would be interested in getting behind the Joseph Initiative here. And in my heart, I was going to go and use this as a business here in Mission. I still believe it's, the dream that I have is still going to come to pass. But I can't keep it to myself because of the need, in my heart. And I think most of us know that trouble is at the door, and that we can't wait for FEMA or other organizations to come to our rescue, and that there needs to be a grassroots initiative launched, where if you got a shop, maybe you're in LA, or you might be up in Alaska, or down in San Diego, you might have a shop, and another person over here might have a little bit of lumber yard where you can actually get plywood at cost price, and maybe he might have a few friends that are in the business of carpentry and welding and things like that, where people can come together and start fabricating this and getting it off the ground. Once the jigs are set up, then the average person with average skills could actually prefab and assemble these components. I was talking to a young man yesterday from Abbotsford who came to Mission, and he sounded quite interested. And he said, "Well, Josh, the easiest way to cut this out would be to use a router. So this was your plywood section. You could actually put a template there and just run your router around, so your sections would come out perfect each and every time, and your edges would be finished. And then just a matter of setting up the jigs to place your internal components. So everything's bonded and pressed together, and you got a steel leg component that goes into here. Everything slips into place. You got full support on your interface, making for the strongest design possible. Very simple, and like sometimes the simplest designs take the longest to figure out. Things that are complicated, it's easy to make things complicated, but to simplify it, that's where it takes the wisdom of God to do it. Okay. Anything else? Okay, so the timetable, from what I'm seeing at this point, is between now and the end of, or the end of the first week in January, is to have a plywood working scale model ready to show you. And between now and then, I'd like to work up the finances, and I'm looking for 12 people that would sponsor me with $100. Just take the hat and pass it around. You can email me at Joshua_Light, LIGHT03 at Hotmail, and send me your phone number, and I can call you back from wherever you're at. Call you here from Mission, and but the first prototype I would like to make out of marine plywood, half-inch marine plywood, as a demonstration model when I go before City Council, and possibly doors can open up to see the Mayor of Vancouver, the Red Cross, other agencies, or to put a professional documentary together. You want to have something that's not going to fall apart on you. That's going to do the job and look professional. So the quality of your relocation platforms or your disaster relief platforms is dependent on your quality of your material. So if you're making it for marine application, you want to use marine wood. You probably could get by with a good finished one side of like a fir plywood. You want to really stay away from spruce because it's not really that strong plywood. Fir is quite a bit stronger. So a signboard material would work, or even a shipboard material would work, which would have to, weather tighten it, and you're going to be dealing with a little more weight. And I'd like to see the finished prototype completed by the end of January. And so, at that point, those of you who work with me at this time to pass the hat and send some finances my way, to be able to use that material to purchase the marine plywood. I'm going to school right now, so I'm limited to what I can do per month, but I'm doing what I can. I believe we're going to see a 9-point quake, West Coast event in 2010, and that we have time to come together to at least ease the pain and be in a position of readiness when it comes. Okay, I'm going to end it here and get this uploaded. It's been since summer that I've actually done any videos, and at the same time I'm working on the Joe pipe technology, and got a sensing that this is the time that the fission fusion is going to be unlocked. I've already developed the temperatures around 2700 just with propane and air, and using quartz tubing, and it's quite something to see. So in the next couple of months I'll be doing testing that way too. But my primary concern right now is to perfect the disaster relief platforms. Like I was saying before, I've already taken technology and designed an interlocking aluminum interlock where you could actually foam inject panels on both sides, and another system that you could do the same with wood. So you could actually have a wood foam interlock, and also like a aluminum foam interlock system using the SI